Almost got that in my coffee. Gotta be careful here. Got a charging cable here, nearly put it in my cappuccino. I don't think cappuccinos are supposed to come with electrical wiring. That's not really the way they're designed. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. Chris live once again in Cape Town. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. Chris live once again in Cape Town. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. Chris live once again in Cape Town. Anyway, good evening, folks. Welcome back to the program. Just keep hearing it again and again and again. Sorry about that. That is squared away now. Welcome back. Okay, we're ready to get started here. So, hey, it's good to see folks here. We got James Bowie, Freelance Kate, Hester Kotza, Sandy Hunt. Sandy, you made it home okay. I take it from the fact that you are, let's get that out of the picture there. Well, that should be there. That you are in the chat. I'm glad that you made it back okay. Thank you for a lovely meeting earlier. Enjoyed it a lot. Offense out, Krugenberg, good evening to you. Leon's here, and Dylan Combrick. Dylan was at my earlier meet and greet that we had, and I guess you guys would say Bluebergstrand, but I'd say Blaubergstrand. Of course, that's a German pronunciation. Anyway, folks, good evening. Lots going on here. Paulie's in the back of the class. Yeah, there's the brains behind the operation. Hey, so what did I warn you about? I told people that the Democratic Alliance needs to be very careful here when it comes to Ronaldos. Not because what he said was not offensive, not because what he said isn't an issue, but because if you kowtow to the woke crowd, it simply encourages them. Now we're seeing attacks on Ian Cameron, and they're also gearing up attacks supposedly against the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Annelie Lord-Riet, and it will not stop there. Steenhuisen will be next, and let's go on and on. The DA will not even be able to field candidates if this continues. They've done what they need to do. Ronaldo, there are credible claims against him, although they're fraudulent, but they're credible claims against him. And so they had no choice but to suspend him while they investigate. I don't have a problem with that. I suspect in his heart of hearts, Ronaldo doesn't have a problem either because he'd like to be cleared of this. So that's the right approach. However, if the DA begins dumping their members of parliament over criminal acts committed by people who are altering videos and misleading the public and screaming and crying over something that is taken entirely out of context, then the DA will go down in a ball of flame. So we will see what happens, but we'll see. Also tonight, lots of other news. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. Okay, but you're okay now. James says, don't trust the government. Well, that's what we're going to talk about tonight. Can you trust the new? What's new in the zoo? Can you trust the GNU, the Government of National Unity? Well, a lot of South Africans are skeptical. I just recorded a video on the beach, and I will be editing that and loading it up after this broadcast, and it'll be available later tonight, or you can watch it in the morning if you like. I'm standing at Woodbridge Island on the beach with Cape Town in the background as a backdrop. I discuss how South Africans are feeling, anecdotally, about this election and about this government nearly a month after the election. Can you believe it's been that long already? 3 weeks. So we'll talk about that. Also tonight, the Freedom Front Plus announced that they joined the Government of National Unity yesterday, and that made them the seventh party. Today, Bantu Holomisa's United Democratic Movement has agreed to join the Government of National Unity. That's 8 political parties now. So of the 18 parties in Parliament, 8 are now in the GNU, which is really a coalition. Brian says, no evening, Colonel. Not sure what he meant there. Amor says, I noted South Africa's Parliament cannot investigate Ronaldo. It's in the hands of the DA and the others. Yeah, I didn't say the Parliament. I said the Democratic Alliance needs to investigate internally for their party integrity. Meanwhile, the captured South African Human Rights Commission, which spends all its time attacking white South Africans and not investigating threats against white South Africans, is busy filing a case in the equity court against Ronaldo. Of course, there's no merit to this case because what was said, while offensive, was said in a context that's permissible under South African law, and therefore the people who altered the video and changed it to mislead the public are the ones who committed a crime here, not Ronaldo. Also, this video was discussed, published, and talked about twice in the past publicly, and it was not an issue. This is entirely an effort to destroy the Government of National Unity, to destroy the coalition. That's what this is about. And it will continue. And if you allow this to continue against minority South Africans, when, as Pension said on his YouTube video today, this is something that many people say behind closed doors. Well, I'm not one of those people. And people I speak to, most of them aren't those people who say such things behind closed doors. But the point here is that 16 years ago, it was said in a context that was not, I'm not going to explain all that tonight, but anyway, the point is that if the DA caves to this, they're done. They're done. They're in a very tight spot, but they have to have a backbone here. So Bantu Holomisa, who was not happy with the government of national unity, is now in the government of national unity. He's part of the new. What's new at the zoo? Well, the Bantu Holomisa and the UDM have joined this celebration, this government. Beyond that, other things happening in South Africa. Exactly, Karen, the DA is being targeted to excise them from the government of national unity. When is Ronaldo's case? Well, there's no cases. You mean with the equity court? No idea. No idea. I need to check something really quick here. Sorry, I didn't have time to do that all day today. Renzo was here last night. I need to check and see if he sent me a message. Let me just check real quick before we go any further, because this is applicable to people that want to help Ronaldo. I do not have anything here from him. Okay. Somebody is trying to now refer me to the South African Human Rights Court, but it's not legit. Oh, it's Johan Zavilliers. Look, what's this? Trying to refer me. He mailed this to me. That's interesting. Let me see what this says. Ah, boy. Let me see what this says. Interesting. Interesting. Well, it's taking forever to load, so we'll see. Well, I guess it doesn't want to load. So is it there or not? Ah, Windows. So frustrating. Here we go. Now it's fine.
Video of new DAMP Ronaldo host using the K-word and the N-word video page. Host actually tweeted to promote this video ID, which is how we know the same
Well, this is Ronaldo.
Time travel and tweet.
That's not what the video is. I don't know what this is all about. Video clip referring to, no, I didn't say that. This thing has been circulated before. It's nonsense. Anyway, so now they're attacking me, and they've got nothing on me. I didn't do anything wrong. So anyway, oh boy. Oh boy. So this is just a complete effort to destroy people's character, and it's shameful. Shameful, shameful, shameful. Anyway. The DA approved? I have no idea, Sandy, if the DA approved the new parties. That's beyond me. Don't know what's going on there. Don't know what's going on there. Don't know what's going on there. So once again, you know, these leftist, shameful, disgusting people are attacking people who do things to help others. I find it comical, sad and comical, that they attack people who help others, because I don't know what their problem is. Jealousy, hatred. I don't know. They don't like the fact that people like people to earn their way in life and be successful and have confidence in who they are, and be able to worship in the way they desire to worship and speak their own culture, their own language. I don't know why they're like that. Yeah, that's mad. It is mad. Read that Biden arrived at Camp David. I have no idea what Biden did today. I had a petition against Ronaldo sent me to when I looked up news on him. I have no idea what you're saying, Fleshin. Yeah, there's a political gang trying to find dirt on DAMPs. And I received an email today from someone telling me they're referring me to the South African Human Rights Commission. Well, they can do that, but they have no case, as what they're saying is not what happened. So anyway, whatever. This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. What's this? Anyway, well, YouTube. So, interesting. So it's not manipulated deep fake. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Anyway, you know, you can save the world and people attack you. Well, they are chasing their own tails, but it doesn't matter. They do the damage and harm people, and it's detracting from trying to build a government here, and that's the sad part. South Africans need a government. They need a government that will meet their needs, that will address their concerns, that will take care of business at hand. So, anyway, unbelievable. Yikes. Anyway, back to where I was at. Sorry, distracted by that. So the UDM has joined the Government of National Unity. And the Democratic Alliance has won a majority in Bford West in by-elections. They took wards from both the Patriotic Alliance and the African National Congress. I think that surprised some people. They have an outright majority during 3 crucial by-elections in the Karoo town of Bford West on Wednesday. And they got power from the PA and the ANC and the Karoo Democratic Force. So they took control of 3 wards, ensuring they have an outright majority in the local council for the first time ever. That's interesting. Now, these by-elections were triggered because 2 PA councillors, including the mayor, as well as 1 ANC councillor during local government elections, no party obtained a majority of seats. So now they've got a majority of DA. Let's see, who's this from? The comment here from ANC Western Cape spokesperson Khalid Syed. So the party was disappointed with the election results in Bford West. The DA are victors of yesterday's by-elections. We would now see what the situation in the municipality will be like going forward. We've taken this as an opportunity to properly rebuild the state of the ANC in Bford West in the Central Karoo. Well, that's a different spin on what they're doing. They're trying to rebuild the ANC. Well, so in Ward, let's see, Ward 1, the DA got 42%. They went from 636 votes to 858. The ANC got 795 or 38%. The PA didn't get a candidate in there. In Ward 3, the DA got 42%, the ANC got 39%, the DA got 17%. Ward 6, the DA got 37, the PA 23, and the ANC 15. That's interesting. And in Cape Town, the DA won 3 by-elections in Wards 64, 105, and 113. And they won 97, 89, and 98% of the vote. So, yeah. Interesting. So that's a development there. So, what else we got here? So in KZN, you know, Jacob Zuma has been trying to convince members of the ANC to defect and resign to cause a by-election, and he managed to do this, but it didn't come out so well. In the Umzumba local municipality, former Speaker Sibonelo Mapumolo led a zero-sum mutiny that weakened the ANC when he and 4 other councillors joined former President Jacob Zuma's party and contested the recent by-elections in Umzumba. Yeah, so his victory was bittersweet after he lost a senior position in council and 3 councillors lost their jobs. So the ANC has been reduced to 17 seats. The IFP has 17. That makes MK the kingmaker. Yeah, so there you go. But it didn't come out quite as well as they thought it would. So messing with the election, undermining government may not be the best move. Meanwhile, Jacob Zuma says that he's a victim of financial misconduct by the state, saying that they unlawfully spent $28.9 million on his legal costs. I guess he's saying he didn't authorize that. So, former President Jacob Zuma says the state attorney and presidency committed financial misconduct when they unlawfully agreed to fund his corruption trial costs and insists he cannot be expected to pay the 29 million rand back. He filed papers in the Gauteng High Court, and he said that granting the state attorney and presidency's application that he be ordered to repay the amount plus interest would be oppressive and inimical to my constitutional rights. He said, for starters, I do not have that kind of money, and I dare to say that no state official would ever be able to pay this amount of money. In other words, to claim the amount of money from a state official is to create an impossibility. Yep, I will never be able to pay this amount, even if generous payment arrangements were made, or even if my presidential pension was forfeited by the state. Well, that's not good. Look, they've got the talons out for Jacob Zuma. They really do, and they're coming after him. Is it legitimate? I suppose it probably is, but whatever the case is, they're definitely coming after Jacob Zuma, and they are not letting up. So we'll see what happens. He's got a lot of support among some South Africans, so we'll see what happens in that context. Supreme Court upholds gun ban. Oh, this is in the States. So the Supreme Court has upheld a ban for people who have domestic violence restraining orders. It seems like a prudent move, although I'm sure that strict Second Amendment folks are probably going to take issue with it. We need to take a closer look at it. But the Supreme Court today upheld a federal law that prevents people who are subject to domestic violence restraining orders from having firearms. Its first major Second Amendment decision since the 2022 ruling that expanded gun rights. Now, the court said the Constitution permits laws that strip guns from those who've been deemed dangerous, one of a number of firearms restrictions that have been imperiled since the conservative majority bolstered gun rights in New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin. In an 8-1 ruling, Chief Justice John Roberts said that when a restraining order contains a finding that an individual poses a credible threat to the physical safety of an intimate partner, that individual may, consistent with the Second Amendment, be banned from possessing firearms while the order is in effect. Now, it seems like a prudent move. Somebody who's presented a credible danger shouldn't be allowed to carry guns. I understand that, but some people are not going to be happy with that. Ronaldo's original video is now popping up my feed and I never searched for it. It's probably because it's trending. Don't forget DA won international vote by 75%. Well, there were only 70,000 ballots, so that's not a big one. South Africa is at a crossroads. Dark forces want chaos, but God we trust and peace. Well, let's hope so. Yep. So, hey, Rette, how you doing there? Chris Ehlers. Chantel Boyson. Ronaldo's original video. Yeah, so how was the burger? Burger was pretty, I don't know the price. It was, dinner was purchased for me. It was kindly bought for me. I didn't see the price. I wasn't paying attention. It was pretty good. The burger was pretty good. The music was incredibly loud. It was almost impossible to hold a conversation. The wait staff are intentionally rude. It's part of the genre, so it's kind of weird to adjust to that. So I want to hold us accountable for not having a minority in government. Chris is being facetious there. Anyway, thanks for sharing that. Hey, Chantel, how are you doing? Good evening tonight. Anyway. Yep. So, yep. 7-year-old video from his channel popped up my feed where he clearly denounces racism. None of those trying to nail him mentioned the video. Well, no, there's lots of them. That's the point. There's a video circulating now in which Ronaldo, goes after white people who use the word and say it's inappropriate. No, it's the Dog's Bollocks. The Dog's Bollocks is the restaurant. Derivative victims are one humane because they're one vote and one municipality is not counted. Ouch, Matthew Dixon's being sarcastic there. Had a first-time look at X today. What on earth is use this platform besides race, throwing shite at each other, promoting racism? Well, Drop in a Bucket, it's actually a decent site for breaking news. So when something happens, a high-speed chase or a fire or an earthquake or a tsunami, and people have their phones, they record video and they load it up on there. And it's been a good source to find out what's breaking before the media can get there, because people are everywhere, have phones, and that's what they do. Yep. Elsa Badenhorst, okay. Yep. If it ever gets off the ground, what's that, Brian? You mean the government? Anyway, yeah, so the Dog's Bollocks was the name of the place. So it's been a busy day, of course. When did we start the day? Gosh, I have to think back now. I had lunch with the family, a survivor of a farm attack, discussed the horrific things that happened there. It wasn't the intent, but it was nice to have coffee. Then I recorded a video. I went to the Long March to Freedom and saw that and recorded a little bit of video. Interesting to see the historical figures going back to the 17th century. including David Sturman, Chief David Sturman, and Moving Your Way Forward, and Shaka and Ketchaweo, and a host of other folks. Interesting to say the least. These bronzes look very real, very lifelike. They're very well done. Although I have to say that you walk on artificial turf and it's kind of weird. But the statues themselves, or the bronzes, are pretty darn good. The one that really got me is Robert Sobukwe was not amongst the parade of people out there. And so I asked him, I said, why didn't you put Sobukwe there? And he said, well, because he's too tall. He was a tall guy. You know, I was in a conversation with his granddaughter a year or two ago, and she wasn't interested in doing an interview. One of the best 50 burgers in the world, possibly. Dad served in the Navy, and they were based at Robben Island. That's a different way of spelling island. Yeah, so anyway. Anyway. So what else is going on? Panyazi Lusufi, sworn in as Prime Minister last week, been off this week, but has yet to announce his cabinet. Well, Cyril Ramaphosa was sworn in the other day, and he hasn't announced his cabinet yet. So he's hitting back at his critics, though. What does this say? That's a few days ago. Yeah, that's when he was sworn in, so they're hitting back. So the news has been pretty quiet about what's going on with the coalition, so we're waiting to see what's going on there. Anyway. But that's interesting from the Supreme Court, that decision. Now, here's an interesting decision, folks, in the States. A Nevada judge has dismissed a case against the so-called fake electors, Trump electors, citing that she has no jurisdiction on this case. Nevada's Attorney General's office said they would immediately appeal the decision, which affects 6 Republicans who were charged in their role in the 2020 election. A Nevada judge on Friday dismissed the case against 6 Republicans who submitted certificates supposedly falsely claiming that Trump was the winner. Clark County District Court Judge Mary K. Hus ruled the state chose the wrong jurisdiction in which to file the case. Trump supporters in several states reportedly cast false ballots for the former president, sending official-looking signed documents to Congress. In Nevada, they were charged with offering a false instrument for filing and uttering a forged instrument, felonies that come with a maximum of 4 to 5 years in prison. The indicted electors included Nevada GOP Chairman Michael McDonald. Now, the problem with that story is that there's no such thing as false electors. The political parties are both responsible for nominating electors and sending their electors to D.C. if their state wins. Now, if they're accusing them of falsely claiming they won a state, I suppose they may have a case there. But there's no such thing as a fake elector. I mean, each party has to pick. You get elected to be a presidential elector. Someone is the elector for both parties, for other parties. So you have those electors. The question is, do you send them to D.C.? Of course, the precedent was set in 1960, the first year that Hawaii was a state in the Union. And Hawaii initially awarded the election results to Richard Milhouse Nixon. And the Republicans prepared to go to Washington, D.C. to cast their electoral ballots. Well, the margin of difference was so narrow that the state did an automatic recount. And at the end of the recount, meanwhile, the Democrats prepared their electors. At the end of the recount, they declared that John Kennedy was the winner by a couple hundred votes, if I remember correctly. And so before it was certified, both parties sent their electors to Washington, D.C. The Republicans believing they'd won based on what the state told them. And then the Democrats were there. Both of them cast their ballots. Congress held their ballots back. And then Hawaii declared that the Democrats won with Kennedy. And so they dismissed the Republican electors' ballots, and they accepted the Democrat. So where is the fake electors there? Both parties acted in good faith. So I guess they're questioning whether people acted in good faith back in 2020. Maybe that's what their issue is. Not sure. Anyway, so Biden's claim that Trump is a threat to democracy could backfire. Biden thinks Donald Trump is a threat to democracy. This man has led the world into carnage and misery. Afghanistan, Myanmar, Ukraine, Sudan, the Sahel. Wow. In a series of speeches, Biden has apocalyptically warned that Trump and his followers would dismantle democracy. How will they dismantle democracy? The man won an election, the man lost an election, and he left office. How is he going to dismantle democracy? He says assistance to the 2020 election was stolen, which culminated in violence when a pro-Trump mob stormed the building. Mr. Biden has accused his predecessor of embracing authoritarian language. Really? Here we are in 2024, we're fighting for is clear. It's freedom, in the literal sense, freedom. Democracy America. Mr. Biden said a June campaign fundraiser, the threat Trump poses could be greater in a second term than it was in his first term. At the same fundraiser, Mr. Biden mentioned Mr. Trump 17 times, freedom 8 times, and democracy 4 times. Interesting. Historians and politicians say democracy is just fine. They know that America's presidential election is being held on time, participation rates are healthy, and federal and local governments are stable and functioning as the Constitution intended. But Joe Biden is trying to get people to think that the country is in danger from Joe Biden. Climate zealots have been arrested this time for spray painting jets in an airfield that were thought to contain Taylor Swift's plane. These people are out of control. They sprayed Stonehenge. These stop oil people hanging off of bridges and impede traffic and endanger lives. It is time to start incarcerating these people for the danger they are to public safety. A pair of activists with an environmental protest group were arrested after they purportedly spray painted 2 private jets at a British airfield in which they claimed Taylor Swift was parked. At 5 a.m. Thursday, according to authorities, 22-year-old Cole McDonald and 28-year-old Jennifer Kowalski cut open a fence of a private airfield at Stansted and spray painted 2 jets parked there bright orange. Their group, Just Stop Oil, claimed in the video of the attack that Ms. Swift had parked at the airport. Wow. But Stansted officials say Ms. Swift never parked at the airfield, and Essex police confirmed to broadcaster ITV that her jet was not at the airfield when the incident occurred. Oh my goodness. So these people are out of control. They are a threat to public safety, and they need to be dealt with. I mean, there are laws to stop people from this violence and hazard they're causing. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, Trump's attorneys in the classified documents case are challenging prosecutors' appointment. Lawyers for Donald Trump made a long-shot argument Friday with the Justice Department prosecutor who charged the former president with hoarding classified documents at his Florida state was illegally appointed, and the case should therefore be dismissed. There you have it. There you have it. So, anyway. Yep. Anyway. But back to South Africa. So people are attacking Ian Cameron now and not providing the context of what happened. I'd like to hear the whole context. It was a AfriForum protest, purportedly. And there's talk that they're going to go after Emily Lord-Reed. So, what positions I think DA will fill? I see Casato and advised not to appoint DA member to lead the Employment Labor Department. I'm not sure that the DA wants to lead the Employment Labor Department. We've talked about this many times, but if the DA is smart, for the sake of South Africa, we should request and insist on finance, public enterprises, police, justice, trade, and education. That's the ones they should insist on. I don't think they're going to get all those. I'm pretty certain that the ANC will not release the security cluster. Not going to want to let that go. So, I don't know what Brian's talking about. Seriously, do not understand that these stop all environmental pressures cause more damage by stupid actions. Well, that they're self-obsessed and they're egotistical and they think they know everything, and they don't. Hey, how's it going there, Marilyn? The only people who make a lot of money are the lawyers. Correct. Chris Pappas apparently also target for what are they going after Chris Pappas for? I mean, this is just racist. I mean, that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. They're going after every person in the opposition party, and nobody's looking at the utterances of people in other parties. As Pension said on his video, I'm pretty sure we can find lots of things to talk about there. Yes, Joe Biden read classified documents on a train multiple times. Okay. So I hadn't heard about them going after Chris Pappas, Matthew. Are you sure about that? I've read about Emily Lorette, and I've read about Ian Cameron. So anyway, it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world. People are just trying to make something out of nothing, and they ignore what's actually done. So, it's whatever. You can't stop stupid. People are stupid, and they'll do stupid things. And they don't care whom they harm. What I don't understand is why people are so demonic and why they have such an issue. Stan Martz says a 1024 rand. It's a sector of a computer. Keep up good work, Colonel Semper Fi. Well, thank you for that. That's very kind of you, Stan Martz. Wow, I was not expecting that. Super chat. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. That's pretty awesome. Wow, what a nice super chat. as they got infrastructure and finance in KZN, do you think it's indicative of what might happen? Yeah, Sandy, that's a good point. Yeah, it could be. I'm pretty confident that the ANC will allow the DA to get finance. That one I'm pretty certain of. Number one, if the DA is in charge of finance, if they have competent people, they could help increase the amount of money collected by SARS through taxation and fix a number of things. Also, South Africa is still on the gray list for financial transactions, and that needs to be addressed. The ANC, if they're wise, would realize that the appointment of a DA minister, I'm not going to say it solves it, but it might just convince the international community to relax, take a deep breath, and may be very helpful. So we'll see what's going on. Anyway, as they got infrastructure, finance, and kids, do you think it's indicative? Yep. My super chat is better. PS Bucks by one. I think they're going to win by much more than one, Matthew. My super chat is better. No, it's not. Yours is a free one, Matthew, but thank you for your membership. Really cool. 54 likes. Yeah, anyway. So, yeah. Bucks by 20, Bulls by 5. Paulie, I think that's probably a pretty good prediction right there. Speaking of which, I probably need to check my Super Brew. Well, let's do that really quickly while we're sitting here and see what I've got. I don't think I've picked my Super Brew picks for this weekend. It's not coffee, it's cappuccino. But yes, I know that's a coffee. Anyway, so it's cappuccino. Prediction. Have I already predicted all these? Maybe I have. South Africa by 15, that's what I say. And the Bulls by 7 is what I picked. I got the Barbarians losing to Fiji by 7. So we'll see if that happens. Anyway, yeah, so I've already made my picks. I've got England by 9 over Japan as well. So there you go. All right. So I have done my Super Brew. I forgot that I did it. So anyway, I think the black color face is funny. Nothing illegal about it. Won't go anywhere. Are you talking about the in-camera thing, the blackface? I don't know. It's reputational damage they're going for. Have you ever had oxtail potki? Richard, I don't eat tail. Don't eat brains. I don't eat tail, and I don't eat chicken feet. Nope. Heard anything from Ronaldo, back and buddy, up and running? No, it's not. 2 people said they want to start a back and buddy. I didn't hear from the one. The other one, I'm not sure I want that person to do that. But the back and buddy will be getting started. So anyway, I think you can donate that anonymously if you want to. So which area are you in now? What are your plans for Western Cape areas you might be in next meet and greet? There'll be one more meet and greet for sure. That'll be Monday in either Somerset West or Gordons Bay. We'll let you know. But there'll be one more meet and greet on this trip. Yep. Anyway, so, yep. Yeah. So I don't eat oxtail. I'm not a fan. I know people love oxtail. That's really popular, but it is not my cup of tea, folks. Not my cup of tea. Anyway, so yeah. I'm not sure where the back of buddy thing's going right now. So that's probably going to be the last meet and greet we do. And I want to thank the people who came to the meet and greet today at Bootlegger. That'll be Monday. What's Monday's date? The 24th? Come on. Yeah, the 24th. It'll be the 24th. So we're working on that. So, all right. Yeah. The Springboks have probably going to, so Planet Rugby. Planet Rugby says Springboks versus Wales. Rossi Erasmus Stars will annihilate Warren Gatland's rookies. Yeah, if I remember correctly, Evan Etzebeth has more caps than the entire Welsh side. Wow. Ooh, now this is Rossi's first time back as head coach, and he'll be up against his old foe, Warren Gatland. Yep. They're not traditional rivals, but they've had some interesting encounters. Last meeting, it was a World Cup tune-up, and the Springboks won 52-16 in Cardiff. Yep, the previous 6 matches between the two were decided by 5 points or less, but we're not going to see that at this game at Twickenham. We are going to see... Yeah, by the way, the Bulls in Glasgow is sold out. A sellout Loftus Fairfield to drown out Scottish hopes. Jake White's men to claim title according to Planet Rugby. Well, let's see if that's the case. I hope it's the case. Another record-breaking season is coming to an end with just 2 teams left in the fight for the URC immortality as the Bulls host Glasgow at Loftus in the grand finale tomorrow. Yep, the Bulls have enjoyed one of their best seasons to date and deserve to finish in the top 2, which result in hosting the final. It can be absolutely critical of their chances of hoisting the trophy. Now, the visitors have been trending very nicely under Franco Smith and developed this fearlessness on attack and never say die attitude on defense, both of which helped them defy the odds and beat Munster last time out. Yep. Anyway. Glasgow needs to achieve at least parity at scrum line to try to depower the Bulls because the Scots have plenty of quality across their back line. Anyway, it's going to be epic at Loftus tomorrow. Sold out. That's incredible. Oh, one more story here in South Africa we need to talk about very quickly. And that's that the city of Johannesburg and City Power, there's an order for 1 billion in debt to Eskom. 1 billion rand. The High Court in Johannesburg ordered the city of Johannesburg and City Power to pay 1.073 billion, including interest, for their unpaid electricity. According to Eskom, the court application was compelled by the city of Johannesburg and City Power's defaulting on its electricity account since October of last year. The power utility said when the matter was heard on June 4th, the total amount owed by Eskom was 3.4 billion. Eskom said the city countered the claim for 3.4, alleging potential overbilling. As a result, has applied for automatic set-off against Eskom's electricity account. This is what happens. Why doesn't the power company sell its electricity directly to the people? Why does it have to go through a municipality? And this is why you get this. And then if they have deadbeat residential customers, then the electric company eventually turns them off after a period of time. So yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, but that's the reality, folks. If you eat cheating a vulture after a meal, rabbit. Hey, Elsa Badenhorst. Haggis, never had haggis. Beef tongue, no thanks. Sandy says I'm ganking. I don't eat tripe either. James Boy says, wow, that's massive bill. That is a massive bill. 3.4 billion rand. It's a lot of money, folks. A lot of money that hasn't been paid for electricity that's already consumed. So where's the money going to come from? You guys are enjoying your oxtail and your other crazy meals over here. I hope you're having good fun with that. Anyway, so with the government of national unity, what's going to happen? Well, I think that's an interesting conversation, and we await the outcome of what Cyril Ramaphosa says, and we haven't heard that. So nothing but speculation at this point. I think Morning Shot did a video speculating on the cabinet. I thought about doing one, but I hadn't got around to it, so I probably will at some stage. If I'm going to speculate, I better do it before Cyril announces that cabinet, though. Actually, I've talked about it, endlessly on the live streams, just not a prepared video, so I'll probably just avoid that. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, oh boy. What else? Oh, there's a shooting in Arkansas grocery store. 2 killed, 8 injured. Wow. And a tropical storm has hit Texas. Good Lord. The world is falling apart. That's crazy. And let's try and check on something here real quick, folks. People talking about vaping. I don't know why they're talking about vaping. That's odd. Graham, no, I'm not in Pretoria. First good thing Tik Tok let me discover is your guarding of the tomb, the unknown soldier in Arlington. It's very impressive. Commitment, just want to express. Oh yeah, drop in a bucket. The tomb of the unknown soldier, the old guard that covers that or provides that function is just, it's unbelievable. Absolutely. Yeah, no, that's incredible dedication. A little secret here: the guards have their military chloroform, their patent leather shoes, either have taps put on the bottom and sides, or what we used to do is we had brake pads. The metal piece from a brake pad is cut in a metal shop and then screwed into the heel because they're so big and so loud. So when you turn, you hear that snap really loudly. And then when you walk, that tap us on the bottom, it drags. Yeah, that really adds some precision to it. I was on a color guard, not at the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, but when I was in the 8th Infantry Division as a young soldier, I was a non-commissioned officer, initially as a specialist, then a non-commissioned officer, and I carried the national colors, which I did with great pride. So we did ceremonies for the 8th Infantry Division, we did ceremonies for battalion change of command, for brigade change of command, we did funeral details, which was unfortunate. I did a lot of funeral details. A lot of soldiers retired in Germany and then died later. And so they got a military burial, and we took care of that. So that was interesting. Yeah, and we were all required to wear dress blues. Didn't have dress blues, so they assigned a pair to us. And that was interesting. It's the first pair of dress blues I ever had, which was for the color guard, but they weren't mine, of course. Yeah, and they also, this was something required. We weren't infantry, but we were forced to wear infantry brass on our collars and wear the infantry rope that goes under the arm, even though I was an infantry. So it's kind of weird. There's a really nice photograph of me, black and white, in 1985. Boy, I look so young in that picture. Just finished reading the book Shaka Zulu by, yeah, good book. Zulu are no longer what they were. Like the Germans with their nail boots. Okay. Gee, Sora wants venison. Okay. Do I think the DNA will revoke Ronaldo's membership? I don't know, Michael. It's, look, all things being equal, if rational minds prevail, but this isn't rational. This is South Africa. You can't, there's things you just can't say, whether you're right or wrong. It really isn't germane. It doesn't matter. And the things that were said in the video are things that people just lose their mind over. And the problem with it is that legally, it's probably not even a crime, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The truth doesn't matter. The world is irrational. So Ronaldo didn't call anybody those names. He didn't direct that at any group. He used it as an example, and it was a poor judgment example, a mistake, but it occurred 16 years ago. It is unbelievable. But again, you know, Morning Shot, they said it. They worked really hard to. He's got a list of enemies, whether he intended to or not. There are people that are just gunning for Ronaldo, and they're unhappy with him. Now, the whole Mama Joy thing. I mean, I didn't even know what that was all about. I mean, you know, I heard about it, but I didn't. You know, it's not. You know, look, Ronaldo is not wrong that it's inappropriate for the government to fund a private citizen to travel to sports events. If they want Mama Joy to be a representative of the government at those sporting events, then she should sign a contract with the government and she should provide a service. But even so, it's not an appropriate service to provide. You don't need to send private citizens to support your team to drum up interest. It sounds to me like very much like a patronage hire. And Ronaldo was exposing that. And so he made a lot of enemies over that. Of course, who was the girl? I can't remember. The young lady who does the competition baton twirling. I'm not trying to, I'm not being a smart aleck. I don't remember exactly what it was, but I remember this, her name is Caitlin or something like that. That was a whole episode, and that kind of went sideways. And then there was Bianca before that, and a lot of people are angry at him, and they've got their knives out. They're coming after him. So the problem with this video that we're talking about here, now that we're talking about it, is that the video surfaced previously. It was on the news. It was shown on the news, South African television in 2010. I've seen the clip of that, where they interviewed Ronaldo back then. And then it was also come up like 6 years ago or something like that. The news covered it. This was discussed, and nothing came of it. But the real problem is that now someone has altered the video to make it look like he's saying this about people, when that is completely out of context, and the character assassination is done. So it may be a long road, but you know, the problem if the DA simply just gets rid of him, revokes his membership, they're now going after Ian Cameron. They're going to go after Annelie Rette, and it's just a matter of time for the John Steenhuis and others, and it will never end. It will never end. You are allowing people to alter the truth and then get away without any consequences, and that shouldn't be allowed. Shaka really punished for doing that to about 13. Yep. South Africa, truth doesn't matter. Fend for yourself. Don't trust anyone. Use sunscreen, says Richard. Oh, pole dancing. That's what it was, not baton twirling. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know he'd get certified. Ronaldo interviewed her. It was an interesting interview, I suppose. I didn't really pay much attention to it. But I didn't know that was certified thing. That was interesting to find out. I didn't know that people did that. I mean, I thought that's just what happened in strip clubs. It's not an attack. I mean, that's all I knew about it. I mean, not that I ever saw that, but I mean, that's what you talk about in the movies and everything. Is that's where pole dancing is. But apparently, it's a competitive sport, and that whole thing turned into something after that, as I recall. So a lot of people with their fangs out, but. That may be the case and why they were digging stuff up, but it's not, in the end, not really about Ronaldo. It's about the government, and people are trying to upset the government. Absolutely. Absolutely. Where was this video? Why was it not brought out before Ronaldo was sworn in? Because there was no need to politically, because the DA wasn't in government. But now the DA can come in government, and the forces that be who want to prevent the DA from coming in government, including likely some racists and some supremacists, are trying to stop the DA from being part of government. Anyway. Yeah, it is Caitlin. That was her name. Excuse me. Yeah, kind of late. I'm kind of tired tonight, folks. Yep. Yeah, timing is everything, and that says everything. The same thing with Ian Cameron. The pictures about Ian Cameron, which they say they want to go to the court and they're claiming this about him. Why weren't those released when the Becca Chile incident happened? Why didn't they come out then? It's not like they were created. I mean, this is things from a long time ago. Good evening, Mr. Farr. How are you tonight? Yeah, so, and I have no idea what people are going to say about Annelie Rotreat. I don't know much about her, other than she graduated from Linden High School. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. Yep. Anyway, who knew you could get certified? I didn't know. That's for darn sure. That was interesting for me to find that out. That's crazy that people can do that. Anyway, yeah. So let me check on something here very quickly while we're chatting away the evening on Night Owls. Yeah. Okay. That's okay. That's what I thought. Okay. Right. Let me check one more thing. One more thing. Come on, puppy, faster. YouTube so slow. Since the Ronaldo story broke, my heart just sank. Okay, this YouTube's taking a long time now, so let's get back here. Okay, why is that not showing up here? Oh, there it is. Raynette says, since the story broke, my heart sank. I was starting to feel a bit positive, but now it feels like downhill for certain. Yeah, that's true, but in the end, I don't think it'll succeed in causing the government to collapse. It's just going to put the DA in a weaker position, and I think that's the intent. Looking forward to the rugby and the true colors as say politics comes out. Yeah, in regard to Ronaldo, hidden agendas. Yep. Elza Bodenhorst, Zuma used the K word. Yeah, and so did Melanie Vervoet. Did she not? Maybe I'm mistaken. One of the News 24 commentators did. I could be mistaken, so I'm not claiming she said it, but I know it wasn't her, but someone on News 24 used that. Yeah, and they wrote it right in their article. Is there any chance he would keep his job? Well, in the U.S., he would keep his job most likely, but here in South Africa, oh, well, you I don't know what to say. It's hard to say. So it's a crazy world. All right, so what's going on here? YouTube is acting all funny. There we go. Finally got YouTube working there. All right, cool. All right, acting all strange there. Yeah. Anyway, so now we've got what 8 parties in the Government of National Unity, which is really a coalition, but moving towards a Government of National Unity, that's for sure. You've got the Freedom Front Plus joining yesterday. Now you've got the UDM. Tony Pat's Good Party is in there with its 1 seat. The Cotton Freedom Party, the Patriotic Alliance, the ANC, and the DA, all part of it. Among the same race, they call each other, but no other race may say that. I don't know. I haven't heard anybody say that. Seems like they will go through a period of McCarthyism. Yeah, it's definitely McCarthyism, but unfortunately, that's a bad term because they always talk about McCarthyism. It's the House Un-American Committee. It wasn't the Senate, and they attacked McCarthy for that. But it was much bigger than Joseph McCarthy. So the actual history of what happened there. But that's the title attached to it. The intent of which is to keep people. Oops, G. Sawyer deleted his message. Yeah. Yep. Crazy thing about this election, people complain about the government national with the DA and MK and EFF dysfunctional, and the government national with is beyond destructive. Mr. Farr, I think it's hard to argue with your assessment there. Again, like I said, the ANC really has little option here. Who could they turn to? So let's take the DA out of the equation. The ANC has 40.2%. That means they need 9.8% vote. The EFF doesn't have that. They have 9.5, so that still leaves them short. So they'd have to get someone else. Al-Jamaa, 1 seat. I'd have to do the numbers, 159. And the EFF has, no, that's not enough. So they can get Al-Jamaa, but that won't get them to 201. They still need 2 more seats. So where will they get them from? Yeah. Someone needs to make a video montage with all the lefties that use the K. Oh, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. You know, somebody commented on my video earlier and said, told me to say it, that word. And I said, well, you love it so much, you say it. Oh, Graham, many people approach you and use that word. Huh. I've never heard it. Now, of course, I never saw that video from Ronaldo. That's so long ago. I didn't really watch Ronaldo 16 years ago. I've never heard anybody say that word. Honestly. No white South African, no black South African. I've never heard it. So unless people are very guarded around me, you know, never heard it once. Yes, pizza time. I understand why you feel bad for Ronaldo. I agree. I agree. It's rough road for him. And if you care about Ronaldo, send him your love, because very lonely spot to be in right now, I'm sure. Very lonely spot to be in. But we had a super chat that was massive earlier, and I want to pass my thanks once again for that super chat from Stan. 13 likes on it. Feel free to like that super chat, guys. It says, keep up the good work. Semper Fi. Thank you, Stan Martz. 1,024 rand. That's pretty awesome, folks. All right. This rate feels like a covert campaign around the occasion for. Yes, G. Sawyer, that's what I've been saying. My video basically says that earlier, not in those words. Sean says, DA, Vanilla Coke, ANC Coke Classic, IFP Cherry Coke, EFA Pepsi, MK's Mountain Dew. I'm not sure that's an accurate assessment, but I'll take your logic there. That's pretty good, actually. Cherry Coke. Cherry Coke. Ronaldo could move on life and work out. I'd be happy the DA only take orders from what's... I don't know what Jan's saying there. Anyway. Yeah, so there you have it. Domestic uses the word in their faces. They call her the H word. I don't know what the H word is. So, when in townships without a camera, you'll hear them speak down to each other and use the perhaps Chris, but again, I haven't heard it. That doesn't mean people don't use it. I don't live here. I'm not here 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and I'm not everywhere all the time. Just saying that in my many times in the country, I've never heard anyone say it. IFP, DA's wimpy, IFP's Burger King, ANC's McDonald's, EFF's Muchachos. Pizza time. Oh, you guys are funny. You guys are funny. Excuse me. I'm kind of tired. A long day. Chris says fact. Well, I'm not doubting you, Chris. I'm just saying I haven't heard it. Look, my experience is not universal, so I'm just relating my experience. Brad LaRue says, would you have a chat with Des from Beyond Politics? Brad, the problem with Des is that Des illegitimately got a copyright strike levied against me for a video that didn't belong to him, that he falsely claimed did belong to him. And when I refuted it, YouTube refused to acknowledge it, and he refused to rescind the strike. So I don't have much use for that gentleman, because he attacked my channel when I did a 6-minute and 40-second analytical video about when he was attacked along with Debbie Ells at Sea Point by the police, and I gave an analysis of the attack and then showed the footage just so that people could see it. The footage wasn't his. He didn't have the copyright. He as much admitted that on his website. When you go to the channel, you could see where he pinned the top, and he thanked someone for telling him where he could find the video. And so he was angry at someone else and who was attacking him all the time. And so he just went through and he just pushed all these buttons, and I got a copyright strike, and my channel was suspended for a week because of him. So I really doubt that I would ever have a conversation with him. And the reason I say that is that in 2020, when people were coming up on the net, people asked me to interview him. I didn't know him from Adam. I was told he was a nuclear engineer who worked at Coburn. I said, okay, well, I cover energy. She said, that would be interesting. So someone gave me a contact, and I contacted Odez, and he said, sure, happy to come on the program. And then I sent him a note back and asked for a time to do it, and he never responded. Now, I have no sour grapes about that. I don't pay guests to come on my program, and he has no obligation to come on my program. So no issue there. No issue there. My issue is that he obviously has my contact information, my telephone number, and my email address. And instead of levying a strike against me for a video that didn't belong to him, in which, by the way, on his channel, all he did was post the raw footage of 41 seconds, and then use that as a basis to claim a copyright strike against me, that's not kosher. That's not kosher. That's not kosher. You can make complaints on his content. Well, if you want, I suppose. I don't attack other content creators' content. I don't go there and make false reports like people do. So, would you ever do a collab with a lady from Citizen Concern? I think her name is Linda Way. She's super informative, smart. Pizza Time. I'd love to do something with her, but again, I need a response from her. Wrote to her, and she never wrote back. Never wrote back. Yeah. So, yeah, Pizza Time. If you would like me to do something with her, please contact her and say, hey, suggest you do something with me. Yep. Anyway, something I can never understand that is in the C point, says Ryan, is I could see Lauren walking away instead of assisting her supporters in the heat of the moment. Yeah, I didn't see that part of it. I just saw the assault. And anyway, so Pizza Time. Okay. Well, I know people have told me it would be amazing. It'd be fantastic. I'd love to do it. She seems like she's got a head on her shoulders and she's got a lot of traction, so that's always nice. But again, folks, I can only do so much. I can try to reach out to her again and tell her that people keep asking me to do something with her. So we'll see. They would certainly increase the hole in the ozone layer. I don't know what Drop in the Bucket's talking about. Brad LaRue says, I hear you. Yeah, again, look, I in the past have said that I have no use for Odez, but I mean, I don't know the guy. I just know that he ghosted me, and that's his prerogative. But it's not his prerogative to make a false copyright claim for a video that doesn't belong to him. That's illegitimate, and that's underhanded. And, instead of working with other content creators who are covering South Africa, he attacked my channel. And there was no reason for that. I had never said anything bad about him before that. I just said he just never came to my channel when he said he would. Maybe he got busy. Maybe he didn't like my channel. That's his prerogative. But what does Steve Hoffmeyer think? I have no idea. I haven't talked to Steve. I'm a Sharky, but I'll support the Bulls. Yeah, Prince Sebakulu. I'm a Stormer fan, but I'm, obviously it's South African rugby, and you want to see 2 trophies in the glass case in 3 years. So, got to root for the Bulls this weekend. Yep, got to root for the Bulls this weekend. Anyway, right. So, Sharks fan. Yeah. Well, I was at the Shark Tank just the other day when I was in KZN. I went by there. Sure did. Yep. And I bought myself a polo, Sharks polo. Yep. Sure did. Also liberated a UIM poster with Neil Devere's photo on it. So Matthew says, we Sharkies need to stand together and support the Scots. Them Scots. Matthew's trolling can be entertaining at times. Val Cooper is cautioning people to be careful about what you say when you name people. Yes, because you can get yourself in trouble by making false allegations against people. Anyway, yeah. Yep, again, we're talking about Odez, and what I just said is factual. So, Pizza Time says, I don't condone anyone using the K word in any form, but everyone knows there's a massive double standard. But again, it's not even a double standard. Ronaldo wasn't calling people that name. See, that's what's being ignored here. And whatever. Surprised they dropped Keegan Johannes for Zach Berger. I didn't see the lineups. Wow. Yeah, it doesn't matter if Ambrose Papier stays on the pitch for 80 minutes. It won't matter. Keegan Johannes won't go there. But that is a bit of a surprise. Zach Berger's pretty good. So that is a bit of a surprise. I didn't see that. Let me go and see if I can see the lineup here real quick for the Bulls. Give me a second here. God bless, I got a lot of freaking stuff there. Okay, so So, News 24 would be the best place probably to get it. Make her president. Make who president? I don't know what KLA. That's, huh? You guys are killing me. Blitzbach, Curtly Arnse pass fit. Oh, Curtly Arnse. Oh, he's fit. Oh my. Wow, Billy LaRue's out though. Okay, okay. So Curtly Arnse's back. Well, I hope he's 100%. Wow. Okay. Wow. So, okay, here's the team. At fullback, Devin Williams. So there you go. Sergio Peterson on the left or the right wing. David Creel, Harold Forster in the center. Curtly Arnse on the left wing. Johan Hussen, Ambrose Papier, Cameron Hannekem, Elric Lowe, Marco van Staden, Ron Nordkia, Ron Vermaak, Wilco Lowe, Johan Grubela, and Gerhard Steenkamp. Substitutes Akka van der Merwe, Sefiwe Matazima, Francois Kloppe, Reinhard Ludwig, Nizam Carr, Zach Berger, Chris Smith, and Cornell Smith. Well, there you go. It is sold out, though, folks. Keep that in mind. It is a sold-out Loftus Versfeld. I think it's the first time since 2009. Now, this is Zach Berger. So where do you get Keegan Johannes? Is this out of date? This was 11 hours ago, so that could have changed. Yeah, okay. Huh. 6 p.m., folks. Be there, be square. Be watching it. Should be exciting. Huh. What's Sean laughing about? Oh, you're looking for the Glasgow lineup. Okay. Kingsley Cola. The only thing I can afford is to challenge people with their thoughts. Yeah, I agree. G says, what happened to the guy down under? He's still broadcasting, but apparently his macular degeneration is quite advanced. I don't know. But I know he's still broadcasting because I saw a video clip forwarded to me of him delighting in Ronaldo being in trouble with the first allegation, not with the second allegation. People don't want to be challenged. They want to be angry and have their own beliefs affirmed by everyone. Correct. Mr. Thorne, good evening to you. Mr. Farson, my dad at 62 received his PhD. At graduation, a guy stood in front blocking the view of 100 people, asked him to move, and he called me a racist. Yeah, that's hell. Juvenile, the argument is Keegan was dropped, although he's been in the team for the last 5 games on the bench. Okay. Happy solstice. Is it the summer solstice? Well, it's a winter solstice down here in the southern hemisphere. But yeah, it's the solstice time. Anyway. All right. Oh, okay, I got you, Paulie. They dropped Keegan Johannes for Zach Berger. No, I think Zach Berger's pretty good. So I'm not surprised by that. So Crystal Boy, since Steve is very well read and enjoys opinion knowledge, really worth listening. Oh, you told me about Steve Hofmeyer. Yeah, what is his son doing? It's a good question. No, he's very well read. He's very literate, very insightful, very thoughtful, and very much mischaracterized by people in the press. I don't know why they hate him so much, but yeah. Who's the Iron Lady you guys are talking about? I missed that somewhere. Anyway, yeah, so full moon, nice. All right, Richard, thanks for sharing that in the Hive Held. Yeah. Let's take a look at something here very quickly here. Oh, I think we covered all this. Excuse me. Anyway. Yep. And yeah, so sorry guys, I'm getting a little tired here. So sold out. Loftus is sold out. Here's what the bull statement said. With general sales sold out, there are still limited spaces and options available in hospitality suites. For more information, visit Ticket Pro. Fans are advised only to purchase tickets from Ticket Pro as the only authorized sales ticketing platform and not from third parties such as Viagogo. Right, there you go. So Loftus has a capacity of 51,762 and it is sold out. Wow. Wow, that is fascinating. So sold out matches at Loftus. Okay, so the 2009 thing isn't true. Where's that coming from? These say these are sold out. So 2013 Bulls Brumbies, 2019 Springboks All Blacks. Well, I mean, okay, these in 2024 they said the Bulls Stormers was sold out. Really? Round 11? I was there. It didn't look sold out to me. Maybe the tickets were sold, but the stadium wasn't full. So yeah, apparently they've had sellouts here. So 2022 Springbok Wales, Springboks Australia 2023, and in 2020. Oh, I'm sorry. No, I stand corrected. I wasn't at the 2024 Bulls Stormers, so I stand corrected. I was the 2023. So I guess they had a sellout this year. Wow. And the Springboks versus Ireland is already sold out for July 6th. The Bulls versus Glasgow Warriors, that's the one we're talking about. Yep. I read. Who are you guys talking about? Keeping on some woman. What are you talking about? Oh, Margaret Thatcher. Okay. I read her books. Yeah, I hope the Bulls and Springboks do well. Excuse me. Pulling faces. I'm pretty sure that the Springboks will do very well, and I think the Bulls will win it, but no guarantees. I gave it a 50-50 chance. So, yeah. Good thing EFF didn't win. They would have scraped the Springboks. They are one of the few rare SA locally grown assets that actually work. Why is the light dimming on the screen? That's odd. I guess because my hand went up and it dimmed the light. Yeah, that's what it is. Wow, that's weird. Is it normal to have a cold for 4 weeks? It won't go away. It depends on your immune system. It depends on what sort of virus you have. Kanye Kwesi again, says, good evening. Hope that you guys in the chat are good. Well, thank you, Kanye Kwesi. How are you tonight? The vibe at Leftist is going to be epic. Exactly. It will be epic. Yeah, that's going to be crazy. It's going to be something impressive, folks. Yep. Close Bulls game. Bulls 10, Glasgow 45. Matthew Dixon. Oh, my goodness. No, that's not what's going to happen. So, yeah. No, the chat's lovely tonight, folks. No hate-wanking trolls in the chat tonight, so that's pretty good. Thanks for being here. Have they given up? I don't know why they've given up. Because they're bored. Chicken soup, bland toast, multivitamin. If you don't have chicken soup, Maggi, 2-minute noodles, drink plenty of water, says pizza time. Well, rest is also a key part of it. Your body's not working overtime to think or to exert physical pressure. Then the rest helps you recover. So, what did it say? Feed a fever, starve a cold. Isn't that the old expression? Don't know if that works. People claim it does. We have lots of wives' tales out there. Mr. Farr tells Matthew to wash his mouth out with soap. Yep, rest is important, peacetime. Arctic saying drink whiskey and have a warm woman. Yeah, it is, Renette. It's pretty nice. They're not here because you didn't use the word in your title. Exactly, yo. You've been exactly right. If I'd have said that, it would have been a ton. In fact, there's nothing in this title that would draw them at all. Can you trust the new? They're at their local taverns, okay? At their taverns, their bars, or shebeens, somewhere. Dudu Mieni, trusted Zuma stalwart, passed away. Really? I didn't see that. Oh, no, that's Dudu. That's from the South African Airways. Yeah, that's a couple days ago, G. Sawyer. Yep. Yep, that's a couple days ago. So, anyway. Right. Shall we do a poll? Let's do a poll, okay? We'll do a poll now, okay? Start a poll. Now, it's probably going to be biased. Who wins the typos are terrible here. URC final. Okay. All right, there's your poll link, folks. You can vote in the poll if you like. Still over 100 people here. Let's see. Tyler Dugan says, Chris, is there any way I can contact Ronaldo to let him know that he's not alone? People are starting to turn to support him. Well, Tyler, I'm not at liberty to give away any contact. Mr. Farr says, excellent interview with Roman the other day. You can, so I suppose you go to his Twitter account and then comment there, Nam Lahos, at Ronaldo Host, and you can post something there. That might do it for him. In the meantime, someone's trying to set up a backup buddy program for him and to raise funds. So if you want to do that, Mr. Farr, thank you for the comment. Excellent interview with Roman. I had people come on my video and complain that I kept interrupting Roman, but it's the conversation. Then I rewatched the interview and I didn't interrupt him that much. He interrupted me a couple of times, and then I watched Roman on Gareth Cliff, and Gareth Cliff interrupted him several times. Val says there's a rugby poll. No comment. It is very strange. Oh, what was a strange time? But thank you, Mr. Farr, for that. I enjoyed it. I thought that was good. I thought the conversation with Byron Shepherd was pretty good. Yep. He's alone. We normal says been alone 15 years. Time for Luke Barnes to stick up or shut up. Yep, Mr. Arctic. I think you're correct. South African Human Rights Commission wants to pay $100,000 in damages. So the problem with the damages is damages to whom? Who was injured by this? Is the same thing with Trump? $475 million? For whom? Who was injured? Thanks, Chris. Discovered you through him. Been lonely on Wednesdays without Colonel. Sorry about that, Tyler. Well, that has had nothing to do with what's going on, although it may going forward. That was because travel. Both of us traveled on Wednesday. I got back in time, but he was a later flight back home, so we weren't able to do it Wednesday. Just as well, because I was pretty tired. I wanted dinner. I had interviews. It was like you said, a conversation. You had ideas you'd agree with, and vice versa. Exactly. That's why that segment is called, it wasn't listed there, but it's called the Indaba Conversation with Chris, because we discuss things. We have a conversation. My interviews are kind of like David Frost did back in the 70s, and it's not, I'm not playing the got you, so I understand that you were deeply involved in this criminal activity. Tell me about it. It's not like that. I don't try to embarrass my guest, and it's perfectly fine for them to disagree with me and for me to disagree with them. That's how you talk things out. It's how you discover things. Yep. I hate interviews. Like you said, okay, thank you, Mr. Barr. I read that. I think this poll is going to be biased. I'm pretty sure it's going to be biased too, because it's mostly South Africans here. You should do a cooking with the Colonel where you stream cooking your favorite dishes, military meals you ate from your tours. I'm not going to show meals ready to eat. Let's see what the poll says. Where'd my poll go? Come back here. Okay, yeah, it is very biased, yep. 43 votes. That's not bad. It's almost half the audience. We're working on half the audience. We can do better than that. But yeah, okay, let me get the chat back down here where I can see. Oh, come on. Okay, there's not a lot of chat here, so it's easy to get back to the bottom. Blue is true, says Chris. Okay, the poll is rigged. And how is the poll rigged, Matthew? How is the poll rigged? Reinhardt says, I cannot partake in polls. I know nothing about me. That's fine. What's a poll recount? Yeah, fair enough. That's funny. Yeah, so look, while we're here just for a moment, if we go any further, I want to thank you, everybody. Etienne says you've reached your bedtime. Good night, Etienne, and we're going to wrap up all here shortly. I want to thank you, everybody, throughout this trip, whether it's Fly Saf Air, it's the DERCO officials and immigration, it's the wait staff at every place I've eaten at, it's the parking attendants who watch the cars, it's the lady who washed the car for me at Monte Casino, all of my viewers who watch my content, comment on the content, all of those who showed up at meet and greets, and all of the wonderful people I've met on this tour. Once again, it is really, really gratifying to meet so many wonderful people, black, white, brown. Amazing. I met an Indian gentleman tonight from KZN originally who lives here in Cape Town and is doing quite well in his life, and was talking to me about how just a year ago he was all caught up in, keeping up with the Joneses next door sort of syndrome, and now he's on the right track. And it was fascinating to listen to him talk about his life. He's conservative. That was awesome to see. Yep. James Brown says you're at the top of your game. Okay. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm only here for the free memberships. Matthew gets a lot of them. So Kanye Kwesi says South African flag, Rainbow Nation, USA, hearts and Christianity. Well, thank you, Kanye Kwesi. Yeah. So yeah, Thank you to everybody. The Reformation Society, Peter Hammond, and all the people I've met on this trip, the people I've seen again, those who've shared their personal anguish stories with me, some of which I won't share publicly. It's not other people's business, but it does help frame and for me to understand what's really happening. So awesome. The journalists I've met, the sports reporters I've met, it's everybody. It's a really great experience. You know, I have to say that in this trip, I've only had 2 bad experiences, both of them from 20 or 30 something privileged white elite little whiny Karens. But other than that, it's been an amazing trip. People have been friendly, not rude. I've been the same. Even the penguins didn't crap on me. Mr. Farr says 70, not much, but a small thank you. Oh, hey, look, brother, that's very kind of you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Moscow's got a bad storm. Okay, no thanks for me for squatting your house. Meant watching your house. Huh? What are you talking about, Harding? What house? Harding is up to something there. I don't know what he's saying there. Matthew chickened out for the Pretoria meet greet. All right. Dockbreaker, wow. Colonel, it's not Karens, it's Karens. It's Karens in America, it's Karens in South Africa. We say Karen, you say Karen. Anyway, but yeah, no, it's look, you don't always have a great experience. I will say this: there's been some crazy drivers I've run across on this trip. Ooh, some crazy drivers, but I've been obeying the speed limits as far as I know. I don't think I broke them anywhere. Yeah, those penguins do smell, Charles. That's why I said everyone loves the penguins, unless you live next to them. Leaving when the rand is strengthening, gotta go before your dollar doesn't go as far. That's a fair point, Tyler says. Yeah, well, it's short term. Don't get too excited about the rands improving. It's going to go back the other way before you know it. We'll see what happens. Anyway, how we doing? We got 100 likes. That's awesome. Thank you for pointing that out, LS. Anyway, all right, guys, it's late. Time to go to bed after 11 p.m. Thank you so much. Have you eaten new? No, Valerie, I have not eaten new. Hey, Philip van Niekerk says, Du belang. Well, how are you? Kiteg. Yes, they were jackass penguins because they sound like a brain donkey. You'll be missed, Colonel. Get yourself a new laptop. Yeah, thank you for that. I'm not gone yet, guys. I'm still here. When you be going back to USA, Matthew? Would like to know. Definitely not sleeping on your couch. And you're welcome, Dogburger. Everybody have a good night. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Treat each other well. And don't take those wooden nickels. They don't work. Cheers. Have a good night, everybody.